Hey guys, Campbell here from the LTL Mandarin School marketing team. In today's video, we talk with two vloggers, Tobias and Mikkel, who recently came and did a 90-day daily vlog with us at LTL Mandarin School. First they went to Shanghai, then Taipei. If you like, you should check out all their videos. They had the most incredible adventure. Sadly, this was our last day with them, and we had a chat with them how it was learning Chinese in Taiwan. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so a lot has happened in Shanghai. We started with a month in Shanghai. We're supposed to go to Beijing after that, but due to the whole world situation right now, we ended up having to change our plans, which was no problem. So we actually ended up going to Taipei instead, which has been just amazing.
Yeah. So we found out that we wanted to go to Taipei instead. And then we got in touch with Alex and in touch with the LTL team, and we found out that we had to leave China for 14 days before we could go to Taipei. So we left China for 14 days, then we got to Taipei, and we've been here for 1.5 months approximately.
It's been super flexible, and it's been really good that we've been able to actually change up our program and deviate so much from our plan, so to actually make sure that we could do what we wanted to.
Yeah, I think there are some similarities, and there are definitely also some differences. I think Taipei is also, like you see, that it's a big city and it has a lot of inhabitants, but compared to Shanghai, it's way smaller. I think there are like 2.5 million people living here or something, which is 10 times as in Shanghai. I think what's really cool about Taipei that you don't have in Shanghai is that you have the nature here. Like with a 20-minute ride or an hour ride in car, you'll get to some amazing nature and amazing mountains just next to the city. While in Shanghai, if you ride an hour in car, you'll be like a few blocks away from where you started.
Yeah, both have been great cities to be in, and I think they both have their own like good and bad things. I think in terms of a lot of stuff, people are really friendly here in Taipei, and there's nature, and that's amazing. In Shanghai though, it can be a little bit easier to make sure that you speak Chinese, because people don't speak English at all. While here in Taipei, quite a few people speak fairly well English.
I think the progress is insane. Like what's happened in the past few months. In Shanghai, in Shanghai we were able to sort of understand some basic Chinese, but we didn't really read anything. Like we weren't able to look at characters and actually read them. But since coming here to Taipei, we've really been studying characters and also naturally vocabulary and learning how to speak. So now we're actually able to read some Chinese. I think that's the biggest progress.
Yes, and then I also think listening has improved so dramatically, because in the start you were able to say some things, and you could sort of understand some things if your teacher was speaking and she spoke slowly. But at this point, I think we've come to a point where no, we don't speak fluently, but we can definitely understand most conversations, which is really good, because when you start to be able to understand conversations, it's easier to sort of get takeaways from those conversations that you hear and start using them in your own language.
Yeah. So right now we've been studying HSK. So right now we are on our way to finishing the book for HSK 3, which means that when we are done with that book, we should be able to hold regular, normal conversations. I say that I think we're at a pretty confident level in terms of having like basic everyday life conversations, like what's up, how are you doing, what are you doing, what you've been doing. We're like without any problems at all able to go into a restaurant, order food, order the coffee just how we want it.
Yeah. In terms of practicalities, you're able to do quite a few things, and we're definitely at a point right now where we can survive perfectly in a place where they don't speak any English at all. So I think that's pretty nice. We're like we can't sit and have like big political conversations if that's what we want, but I think we can definitely have a good conversation with the Chinese person or a Taiwanese person.
It's quite fun thinking back last year when we were in China in the summer last year. We went into a restaurant, we didn't understand anything, we couldn't say anything. It's like we're pointing at the menu, I want that. But now we're able to go into a restaurant and order like the food that we actually want. That's pretty big difference.
Yeah. So we've seen quite a few things, and we've been going to a lot of seeing a lot of nature. We've been at some temples, a lot of night markets.
Yeah.
A lot of really cool stuff. One of the things that I really want to highlight is that we climbed the Elephant Mountain, which is just amazing because you just take the metro line to the end. You're still in the city, but then you just start walking up onto this huge mountain, and you get a view over the entire city.
Yeah.
I think that's truly. I think that only Taipei has to offer.
Yeah, I definitely think like the nature here in the city is something that truly sets Taipei apart from other cities. That you can like literally ride your bike 5 minutes away from Taipei 101, and then you're at the bottom of the mountain. You can climb a mountain 5 minutes away from one of the 10 tallest buildings in the world and look at that building from the nature. That's crazy.
Yeah, we've also seen some culture. As mentioned, we've been at a few temples. One day our teachers took us to a temple, to see a temple, which is it's really cool, and they were able to sort of tell us a little bit more about it, and we sort of understood it a little bit better than when we've just
Definitely. I mean, like that day, usually when we've gone to temples, like we go in there, oh, it's really beautiful. Like, okay, they're sort of doing something over there. We don't really understand it. But then our teachers took us to the temple and actually were able to explain to us what was going on.
Yeah, so I think the good thing with LTL in Taipei and LTL overall, because it's such you have small classes, you have a small school, and that just means that you get to be friends with your teachers. Yeah. And often we go out and have lunch with our teachers, and sometimes we've been doing something else with our teachers. And I think it's really nice that you really get to know your teachers.
Yeah, one day, so as you said, one day we went to the temple. We've been out eating lunch several times. One day we also went to with our teachers to a fortune teller, and I had my fortune told. So that was also really fun. It's like just underneath a metro station. Like you go downstairs, like seems really shady, but then there are like a ton of fortune tellers downstairs. I don't think we would have found that if we went there by ourselves. Tough. Yeah, it's like. It has been tough making daily vlogs while learning Chinese, but it's also been fun. I mean, like as you said, we've seen a lot of things here in Taipei, also in Shanghai, and it's all because every day we've had to go out and do something, see something, because we're making the vlog. But that also meant like it forced us out to doing something new, something cool every single day, speaking to local people and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's taking its toll. I think at some points we would have liked to sort of focus a bit more on our studies, but I think that we managed to balance it pretty well, and it has been really cool that we've seen so much.
Yeah, so starting out here in Taipei, we were living at a hotel, which was super nice, great hotel. It was super nice. And then after 3 weeks, we arranged the homestay with LTL. So we moved into our homestay. And it's been really good. Like going from a hotel where like even though like we're in class, we're thinking Chinese in class, we're talking Chinese, but then like sort of when you get home after we went out doing video, you get home, we like in the hotel room we just speak Danish and do our homework and sort of not like focus too much on the Chinese because we also have a lot of other stuff to do. But in the homestay, speaking Chinese and thinking Chinese sort of become an integrated part of our daily life. Just at breakfast talking Chinese, at dinner talking Chinese. It's been really good.
Yeah, and the Chinese you learn here is also a bit different from what you learn in class, because in class you learn a lot of vocabulary and a lot of grammatical structures, which you can definitely use and which can definitely be like real life daily Chinese. But you get some more colloquial expressions and just a more natural feel of the language when you actually live it every day and just have these small daily conversations with your family.
Yeah, and also going to places with our family, like our homestay dad Chris and his girlfriend Rosa have like taken us a ton of places. We've been out also climbing like a beautiful mountain, like an hour's drive away from the city, which we've never would have seen if we didn't go there if they didn't take us there. Been out eating traditional food, and yeah, it's been really great. Luckily, our homestay dad is really good at cooking, so he make breakfast for us every single day, and also cook dinner for us. And we've definitely had some local food at dinner. He's been cooking, like showing us what Taiwanese food is really about.
Yeah, yeah, and he's also really good at switching it up. So very often we'll get something we haven't seen before for breakfast. We've had baozi or steamed buns for breakfast, and we've had another kind of sort of local Chinese Taiwanese bread-ish thing, which like we've tried a lot of different things, and some like basically we just eat as the locals do, which is really cool, and we try to do that in the hotel as well, but it's way different when you just see like what do people actually cook at home and what do normal people eat in normal life.
In terms of dietary restrictions, it's also been super easy. For instance, I'm vegan, and that's been no issue accommodating to that in the homestay. So that's been really great.
I think the facilities are very good. We have in terms of pure practical things, we have quick Wi-Fi and water and coffee as we need it. That's all good, and I think we have a pretty good room. We have good space for. That's actually quite important. We have a good desk for studying. I must say, we're two pretty tall guys, both above 190, and the beds are a bit short, but it works. It's not a big problem. I think it's really good.
Yeah, and like obviously it's super clean, and also very importantly we have our clothes washed. Our homestay dad helped us wash our clothes. So it feels like being back home in Denmark with our parents taking care of all of our clothes. I say it's up there.
Yeah, definitely.
I say it's super high. I mean, like, I would say it's probably, in terms of my expectation, I would say that we're probably at like an 8 or something, and I think it's because of all the things that we didn't expect to happen. So we had to leave to China and kind of like stop the program for 1 week, where we didn't really have any classes because we left China. Then we have 1 week of online class, 1 week of actually 2 weeks, one in Thailand and one before, so 2 weeks of online classes. And obviously like online classes are super good and they're great, but obviously you don't learn the same in an online class as you do face to face with the teacher. So I'd say like we've definitely learned a lot, and I think like before going here we didn't speak any Chinese at all, and now, as we said before, we at a quite okay level, I'd say, after 3 months of studying. But obviously I think we would have gone further if we've had like regular classes for 3 months without any unforeseen things happening.
Yeah, I think I agree. We've come really far, I think, but I think you can come even further if you have like three straight months of just being in Taiwan or being in China or but definitely it's really high up there.
Yeah, I think like we've also really progressed in the last months, but we've had 2-on-1 teaching, so one teacher for the two of us, and we've definitely made a lot of progress in the last month. So, well, the school in Taipei is bigger,
a little bit bigger, but also newer. The school in Taipei is super nice. It's very new, and you can definitely feel it. But the school in Shanghai is very good as well.
Yeah.
It's the school here in Taipei. The school is sort of has its own entrance, its own little place. While in Shanghai, it's in a big office building. I think they're both cool in each of their own ways, and I think the good thing about them is that they are located at local places. So you have all your local restaurants around in both places. I think that's very cool, as opposed to being on a huge school or university for itself. Yeah, so I think school-wise, up there, 9-ish.
It's been really good. As I say, definitely also up there. We've had a really good experience. I would say though that like it is quite a lot of money, and it is quite expensive. It is. But I think it's worth the money if you also put in the effort to actually speak Chinese and talk Chinese. So like if you just go to the homestay and you don't really proactively engage in speaking Chinese, and like at dinner just look at your phone and then go to your room afterwards, like you're not gonna get any value out of it. Then it's not gonna be worth your money. But if you actually proactively engage in conversation and try to get something out of the homestay experience, like then it's definitely worth the money and get a high score.
I think we've done that as much as we could, and we've been really trying to speak a lot to our homestay family who've also become a good friends, and I think it's been a really good experience. And I'd say for our specific homestay, Chris and Rose, I'd definitely rate them 10 out of 10.
Yes.
I'd say don't worry.
Don't be afraid.
We've been living here with Chris, and he's been so friendly, and they've really done what they could to make sure that we feel welcome. And,
yeah, we definitely.
but at the same time also are very good at giving us the space we need if we just need to relax after a hard day. And that's also cool. We're not like forced to go out and speak all the time, but they're always there, and we have some good talks around dinner.
I think one thing also to remember is that, I guess you're not going to be the first person living in that homestay. Like they've been through it before. They've had students coming, living with them before, so they know the drill and they know how to react and how to give you space, but also how to like sort of force you out in speaking Chinese. So yeah, don't worry at all. It's been great.
Yes.
Yes, certainly.
Well, I think I can say that I'm probably gonna be back as soon as in a few weeks, because when I get home, I'm not gonna stop learning Chinese. I think I'm gonna do an online course with LTL to sort of keep up my level and keep learning until I get the chance to go to China or Taiwan next time, where it's very likely that I will be studying with LTL.
Definitely.
Somewhere unseen, it got a little longer, so it seems. I burned out, so to speak. Now come a little closer. I feel a little light in the light track.